Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody but Sorry, we don't know the words. Those lyrics take forever to learn.
Forever, man. It's been like 20 years and I still don't know what the words are.
Well, welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Magic Hour. And if you have to guess, we are covering Bad Boys for Life. The movie where you ask yourself, is Martin Lawrence drunk the whole first act?
He was something, man. He was drinking something, snorting something.
I don't know. He had a good time, I tell you.
I forgot how funny he was, man.
No, he's a funny dude, man. There's no doubt about it.
He was killing. There was like 10 people in my theater, and you would have thought there was 50 the way they were laughing.
I know.
Everybody was dying, man.
The same here, man. People were hooping and hollering, and you're busting up laughing. But, you know, Martin Lawrence did not age as well as Mr. Smith did. You know, he looks like he's actually his age, and Will Smith just looks.
I don't know. Neither one of them look that bad.
I guess, because
except
when he was having to color his beard.
Yeah. That's why I don't grow my hair in. I used to have a beard, and it's because it's all gray.
Like this.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm embracing my old age. But no, man, once again, I mean, how can you go wrong with
this?
Who was it? Bruckheimer? Jerry Bruckheimer did this one?
No. Michael Bay. Michael Bay didn't actually direct this one.
No,
Jerry Bruckheimer probably produced it.
It was produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. And he always, if his name's on something, it's usually going to be,
this movie series pretty much made both of them, didn't it? Because they both had a television show.
Right, yeah.
Martin had Martin, the TV show.
I would say
then Will Smith had Fresh Prince,
right.
Bel Air.
And Will Smith had done some, or
Broadway stuff.
Yeah, small budget stuff. But I think that was definitely both of their first major action films.
This made them stars. I mean,
and for good reason. The movie is great. I mean, their chemistry is just. They're a little older, but I felt it was still pretty much the same chemistry between the two of them.
Well, I went into this movie knowing that Michael Bay didn't direct this time, and at first I was like, "Are they serious? He didn't direct this?" Because you got the helicopter, the crazy helicopter shots, and all of these crane shots, and you got the music and the cars. But I was like, "There's something missing." Then at a certain point, it clicked for me. I said, "Nah, Michael Bay didn't direct this." You know why?
Why?
There's this thing called TNA. You know TNA
Oh,
is?
yes.
I can't say it
from,
on this channel because
right.
we'll get,
we
might get in trouble. But there was not enough TNA in this movie. If it had been a Michael Bay film. Now remember, Michael Bay is the guy who in the last movie managed to make a morgue scene titillating. Remember the dead scripper in the last movie? He had a dead scripper, and they showed her big boobies, her dead boobies.
Her dead boobies.
I mean, this is what Michael Bay is so decadent.
I think you need some counseling, man.
No. Everybody who's watched these movies knows what I'm talking about, how disturbing that scene was.
Well,
to be titillated during a morgue scene.
In all fairness, they can't get away with that stuff anymore, man.
But it was a R-rated movie. They can't get. Well, yeah, you're probably right. But Michael Bay even created something, and I kid you not, it's called the butt wipe. And I learned this watching a documentary on the making the last movie.
Okay.
There's this thing he created. He had his second unit director direct this scene in this nightclub. They have all these panning shots through this nightclub, and he didn't like the way the second unit director. He said, "You need more butt wipes than the second unit director." What's a butt wipe? And a butt wipe is when a wipe is when you have this in-camera action. Well, sometimes is a kind of a special effect. You see them a lot in like movies like Star Wars. It's like this old-timey thing to switch to a next scene.
Right.
Where you can do it in camera too. You can have like somebody walk in front of the camera and then you wipe to something else.
Right.
To another shot. Well, he had this shot where he pans past these scrippers and they're like dancing and their butt
wipes.
Literally wipes across the camera. And then he like goes to another shot.
Maybe you can throw an example of what
yes, I'll show this if possible when I edit. But yeah, so he created something called a butt wipe. So I immediately knew this is not a Michael Bay film because there would be, and not to say there's not some nice looking women in this film, but it wasn't wall to wall TNA.
Right.
Like I was used to. Michael Bay was even in the film. Did you notice his little cameo?
I did not.
He was in the wedding scene. He was the MC.
Oh, that was Michael Bay.
Yeah,
okay.
that was Michael Bay.
Yeah, I do remember that. I thought I recognized him. I'm like, I know who that guy is.
Yeah,
but then I was like, well, never mind.
So my thing with this movie, it had a lot of twists. I mean, one of the twists, they really just knocked. I mean, actually, when I think about it, there's probably 3 twists in this movie I did not see coming. Well, one of them I kind of
Well,
did.
yeah, I certainly did.
So should we talk about them?
Absolutely.
Well, we have to give a little bit of the plot. Why don't you establish
that? Mike and Marcus, which is Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, have gotten older. They're getting near the times of making that midlife crisis decision, and Will is or Mike is totally committed to being this bad boy and this player, and he's gonna hunt criminals till he's 100 years old.
Yeah.
Where Marcus has a family, just has a new grandbaby. His wife or his daughter's about to get married, and so they're going back and forth about retiring or staying on the force. So they have this argument at a club, and they said, "All right, we're gonna race to see if I win." Mike says, "If I win, we do this till we're 100," and Marcus says, "No, if I win, we retire right now,
right,
and enjoy our lives, and you need to settle down and all that." So at this point, they go race outside, and of course Mike, leaves Marcus in the dust.
Right.
But at the end of that, this guy on a motorcycle pulls up and shoots him 3 times.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. I really thought it was going to be some kind of like, this is a dream or something. Mike's going to wake up, maybe I do need to retire, because he had this dream of getting shot or something. Then I was like, then it went on and on. Then they showed him in the operating room. And of course, the operating room had movie lighting.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It was like all dramatic lighting. It was like in a real operating room, it would have been bright white.
Yeah, I work in operating rooms. I know exactly what the light is.
And I was like, this is so silly. But I was like, okay, this is going to be a dream, right? Right? But nope.
And they give you a little bit of the secondary story that they tell at the very beginning is there's a women's prison in Mexico.
Yeah.
And this woman escapes, and they are now going to she's the wife of a cartel leader.
Yeah.
Who died in prison because guess who put him there? Mike Lowry. And Mike's boss and all these people that were involved in that, she seeks revenge against. But she doesn't want her son to kill Mike.
Well, she wants him to kill him last.
Kill him last.
Yeah.
But he jumps the gun and shoots Mike on the street while they're having a race.
Right.
So you take over from there.
So first they do this fake out where they show all these people dressed up, and you think, oh shoot, he died.
Yep. Yeah. And it's a slow pan back.
Yeah.
Onto all the people crying.
And the minister or whatever is like has a look on his face. Then he raises his head. And he's like, I now pronounce you man. And they're like, what? What's going on?
And it's like 6 months later.
Right? Yeah. It says 6 months later. And they cut to Marcus's daughter's getting married to that guy they tortured.
The same kid
they tortured in the last
by the same actor.
Yeah.
That was cool. I thought that was really cool. This kid got his one shot of fame in that one scene, and then they bring you back for the third one.
Y'all know who we're talking about, that little kid they torture who's taking Marcus's daughter out in the day. They're getting married, and they cut to Will Smith in a wheelchair. And of course, he sees the captain and is like, Captain, you got to let me back in, man.
No, but I wanted to point out something that most women would have noticed in that moment.
What's that?
Is that Mike gets rolled out in his wheelchair and steals that girl's moment by getting up and standing up.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, man, a lot of brides would have been mad. Uncle Mike, you're ruining my moment. But anyway, yeah, so he's like, come on, Cat, you got to let me back in.
He said, I can't let you investigate your own case. And then like a scene later, he's investigating his own case.
Oh, yeah, and Cap is like straight shooting Pepto-Bismol. And
so then they introduce this group called Ammo, and I forget what it stands for.
It's basically CSI.
Well, but it's basically a group of how can I say this, genetically superior people. Everybody in the group looks like supermodels.
Oh yeah. But
of course,
they're like supposed to be like tech specialists.
They're all detectives, and they're like in their 20s. It's like no detective is in his 20s. I'm sorry, that's not how it works in the.
No.
If you know anything about the cop world?
Yeah, they don't do that.
You don't become a detective till you're in like your late 30s or 40s.
You got to put in at least 10 years.
But everybody in this group is a detective and is great looking and in 20s, and of course
it's the guy from Vikings.
Right.
What was his name? Did you have it down here?
Alexander Ludwig.
Alexander Ludwig is playing the tech genius.
Yeah.
But he's like,
all of them.
He's especially, he's like 6'4" and just solid muscle. And then Vanessa Hudgens, love that girl. Loved her since High School Musical. But she's so beautiful.
And then Carrie-Anne Moss.
Carrie-Anne Moss.
From The Matrix.
That's what it was.
No, it wasn't.
No,
I kept looking at her though. I was like, is that Carrie-Anne Moss? I was like, no, Carrie-Anne Moss is like in her 50s. But this woman looks just like Carrie-Anne Moss. And I was like, God, is that gotta be a daughter, right? But no, I looked her up. Her name is Peola Nunez. She's Mexican.
Yeah.
But I was like, she was born in like Guadalajara or something.
I didn't know where she was from, but I
was
picked
for
up
sure
on the accent.
Dude, I was for sure. I thought she was doing it. She looks white, but I kept doing double take. I was like, she's gotta be related to Carrie-Anne Moss. Surely they're related, and so they're not related. So I mean, but I can't. Dude, she looks just like, if they come out with that new Matrix movie, she should be like
her descendant.
She should be like if they do some like, they gotta explain how, cause
flashbacks or something.
Yeah, they gotta explain how Trinity is still alive, cause she's supposed to be coming back, right?
I don't know.
They should use this woman as like in the flashbacks, cause she looks just like Carrie-Anne Moss.
And she is the head of this
Ammo group.
And
of course, she had a relationship with Will Smith.
Mike,
And she's like, Mike, she comes to his apartment and like has a key to his apartment.
And Mark is like, you dumbass. Because Marcus thinks that Mike should be, getting with her.
Yeah.
And settling down.
Settling down. I would definitely say.
So,
but she tells him, you can't investigate your own case. And then like a scene later, he's investigating his own case with her.
And an hour later, he's already been involved in like multiple homicides.
That's what got me. He goes back on a job, and one day he tracks down the guy who sold the gun and bullets to his would-be assassin. He tracks down this guy in one day. Well, it took Ammo 6 months to get to the same lead.
And who was that? DJ Khaled was playing.
Yeah. Why was he in this movie? He appeared in one scene to get his ass beat for like 3 minutes.
In handcuffs.
Hey, DJ Khaled, you want to be in this movie? Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Let me
tell you, if somebody would,
you're gonna get your ass beat for 3 minutes by Will Smith.
And
whatever,
if somebody hit your hand with a meat cleaver 3 times, you're not gonna be like, hey, dude, come take these handcuffs off. But it's all who you know.
You know what? There was a lot of ridiculous stuff in this movie, and they're getting into that Fast and Furious level of unbelievability. What the scene that stood out for me was that scene where they have the drone. I was thinking of you when they did this. They were using the drone for surveillance, and the drone goes into the building.
That thing would be going.
Yeah, nobody and nobody could hear it.
Right.
You know how loud a drone is?
Dude, you pegged me, because in that scene I was like, that drone would be so freaking loud.
And they were listening in on their conversations. Yeah. There's no way you would have heard anything if you had a mic on that drone.
Now, if they would have had like something on the ground that was like, then that would have been different. But that drone, I know for a fact, those things are freaking loud. Those things are loud. They've come a long way in the technology on the wings, but no, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But I tried not to let that get into my head too much, because I was enjoying the story. You know me. I get into it.
And it was also kind of ridiculous that they're trying to track this assassin, because this assassin is killing all these people for his mother, who was the woman who was in prison, the wife of that cartel guy. And he's killing all these people for her because he's getting revenge for her.
And his father.
He kills the judge involved somehow with his father.
The DA,
the forensic guy, all these other guys. They're trying to track this guy down, but at the same time, he keeps showing up to kill everybody. Why are they having to track the guy down when he keeps showing up to kill everybody?
Just go wait for well, they didn't tie it together until, apparently they weren't.
But this guy is a badass. He's like him and Will Smith.
Was some very good fight choreography.
Yeah, they were fighting in this scene, and Will Smith was like looking in his face and like, there's something about this kid.
Okay, wait, but
they were foreshadowing it.
Before you reveal that one, what was you said there were 3 twists. What were the first 2? Because is that the third one? What you're about to say?
Well, okay, the first twist wasn't more of a twist. I actually did see it coming. He's Will Smith is at this, a basketball game with Captain Howard.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking and talking and talking. You're like, hey, what's this scene about? And he's like telling Will he needs to, you need to settle down. And he tells him this little story.
About the horse.
About the horse. And then the scene is, you think the scene is over. And then they show them both walking to their cars. I said, okay, something's about to happen. Because this scene is going on way too long. And if you know anything about Joe Pantoliano.
Yeah.
He dies in every freaking movie he's in. I mean, he died in The Sopranos. He died in The Matrix. He died in Bound. I've seen this guy die so many times. This is probably the longest I've ever seen him go in anything without dying. I'm like, are they gonna kill him? Please tell me that.
Well, he made it to the third one.
He made it to the third one, but this assassin shoots him through the neck, and you're like, oh boy. So this is gonna be the thing, cause see, Martin Lawrence's character Marcus has retired. And he's not coming back, but this is going to be the thing that brings him back, because they do this in so many freaking movies.
Yeah, this followed a very common pattern.
Remember they did that in the Avengers? They killed Coulson.
Yeah,
they're out to bring everybody together. So
there's a pattern to these.
That was the first twist, because I really thought he was going to survive. I was like, he's really, because he's a likable character. You know, and I was like, they're not going to kill him. But then they shot him. I was like, really? So they did that to bring Marcus back. And they come back. He comes back and they start investigating together. My thing about Marcus, he's the last. Why does Will Smith, beyond the obvious reason that he's the
their
star,
best friend, yeah.
He's the star of this. He's one of the two stars of the movie. But why would you want him in a firefight? He's the most useless person ever in a firefight.
Like
why would you want him? Even he's not good at investigating anything. He's not really good good at anything.
I actually had that thought. I was like, what does he bring to the table?
What? He doesn't bring anything to the table.
You've got these 5 young people, and they've got all this technology, and they're smart. And
right.
You know,
I would take any of those kids in that ammo group.
Kelly, Vanessa Hudgens' character, was a freaking badass.
Yeah, I would take any of them over Marcus.
But yeah.
He has to bring Marcus back. Marcus is freaking about to get him killed. Like, they go to see the CI, remember? And the guy's like, hey, I'm in trouble here. And he's like driving all slow. And they make a big joke out of the fact that he's driving slow.
And because he drove slow, that guy died.
That guy dies. And it's like,
because they had to drop the baby off. And Will Smith comes in with the baby and
and it's like, what is going on? And then, okay, the second twist in the film, after that scene, Will Smith is battling this guy. He said, "There's something about this guy." And
I did not catch that initially.
No, that's why
I just thought, now he can ID him. He knows what he looks like.
Yeah, I did not see that coming from a mile away. Like, Will Smith looks up his information. And he figures out who's trying to kill him. This woman he used to have a thing for when he was undercover. Like, it was like 24 years ago.
Yeah, and don't forget that he mentioned he had fallen in love one time in his life earlier in the movie. And
so the twist is, here it is, guys. Spoilers. This guy who's been trying to kill him this whole time is his son. Bum, dum, dum. And that was a real twist. I did not see it coming a mile away, because he looks nothing like Will Smith.
And they did do a good job of deflecting you from that right up to the moment. Because you're like, why is he so upset?
Yeah. But the deal is, before she was carted out the prison, she was pregnant with his child, and she didn't tell him. She wanted it to be a surprise, because they were going to go to someplace.
Yeah, he was her driver, and then they had fallen in love, even though she was married to one of the most powerful cartel members.
But that guy couldn't have kids. The cartel guy couldn't have kids.
He couldn't have kids, and then she...
and he knew that. So he knows this kid is his.
So she has the baby in prison and basically raises that boy to seek revenge for 20 years. Or make sure that the cartel raises them to, and he's a freaking badass.
Yeah, I guess the first twist, I mentioned 3 twists. The first twist was Mike getting shot.
Yeah, that
was the first twist. Second twist was Captain Howard getting shot, and then third one was,
him finding out that the person that's trying to kill him is his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we really need to recount anything else? It basically they have a bunch of more action scenes.
And 1,000 extras get killed. Just like every action movie you ever see, there's like thousands or hundreds, at least hundreds of extras that just get.
And I like the action up to that stupid scene when they go to Mexico. Because every movie they have to go. Well, I guess they didn't do it in the first movie, but in the second movie they go to Puerto Rico. No, they go to Cuba to track down the drug king.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, they go to Mexico for some reason this woman's going to meet with him. And she tells him, come to this hotel. Why would you go to that hotel, first of all? And then Ammo shows up to help them, and they have this whole battle. And I thought that last action scene in the hotel was like clunky.
It did.
It went on forever. The bad guys were all just waiting to get shot. They wasn't like trying to devise some way to. They were just all standing around waiting to get shot. There was no strategy or tactics, and it was basically Will Smith having this confrontation with this woman who's been trying to kill him the whole time. And he tells this kid, "Oh, I'm your father." He has the Darth Vader moment. And
and once again, Marcus is pretty useless.
Usually, Will Smith throws him a gun, and he can't see the gun, and just sails past him because he won't wear his glasses.
He was 100% there for comic relief.
But it was funny. This movie, I'm gonna give this movie a 4 for the comedy. You're gonna laugh your ass off. If you don't laugh at this movie, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm gonna give the action, because some of the action scenes just went on, and they were implausible as these movies tend to get. The action was probably about a 2 or a 3. There were some good action scenes up to that final scene, which was just went on forever and was clunky and just.
And if you
terrible.
think about it for a second, it's kind of like a slap in the face to true movie buffs when they do that stuff. To people who actually appreciate a production that puts the work into doing their due diligence, like shooting a Javelin rocket launcher out of a helicopter. First, you wouldn't do that. the back blast would blow everybody inside out.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, if it hit, it would have blown that whole bridge up, and it would just fell in the water. But Mike and Marcus were able to kick apart and then come back together like Three Stooges shit, man.
There was a lot.
But it was enjoyable. Just don't go expecting to get like a real life movie.
If you like the Fast and Furious movie, it seems like they're going to set up the whole thing where the villain in this movie is going to be like a good guy in the next movie, because you remember at the end, he goes to see his son. So I got a job for you. I'm like, your son just killed a judge. All these, your captain shot you 3 times, killed all these other people, and you're gonna give him a job? Just forgive him?
That's his son.
No, man. I was like, this is gonna be. They're Fast and Furious, and there's already talk. There's gonna be a Bad Boys 4.
I heard it was already in production.
Yeah. This movie made $68 million out the gate. And I didn't even bother to look at the Rotten Tomatoes score. I can pretty much guess what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like 50 to 60% for the critics. So you can tear this movie apart if you're looking for plausibilities.
Yeah.
There's no plausibilities in this movie. It's not that type of movie. But the audience score is probably gonna be like in the 90s. I would guarantee you. What's your score?
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say overall 3.5. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I went and watched it. Far from the best one we've seen so far, but it'd be worth $8 for a night out to be entertained and laugh a little bit and watch shit blow up. Because they blow up a lot of shit in this movie.
Oh yeah! Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, man.
All right, so I don't think there's much more to be said.
Go check it out and decide for yourself.
So if you like this channel, please hit the subscribe button, comment, tell us whether you agree or disagree, whatever.
Give us a
Ring
like.
that bell so you get a notification when our next video drops. You got anything else to add?
No, man, just give us a like, and we will see you guys on the next video.
We'll see you when we see you. Thanks for watching.